Super funny jokes for kids. Silly to say. A book of limericks, tongue twisters, and riddles. Written by Miss Smartypants. Edited by Humorous and Hilarious. Illustrated by Jokester. Chapter 1. Limericks, tongue twisters, and riddles. Oh my! Sometimes things are funny because they sound silly when read aloud, and that makes us laugh. Limericks are 5-line poems that always have certain lines that rhyme. In limericks, the first, second, and fifth lines always rhyme with each other. The third and fourth lines rhyme with one another. That makes them sound really hilarious when you say them out loud. Sometimes things are hilarious because they are hard to say quickly. Tongue twisters use words back to back to make us trip over our tongues. They can make our tongues feel double in size. Don't worry, this feeling is normal when reading tongue twisters. And sometimes things are funny because they challenge our brains in fun ways. Riddles are mini games for our minds. Try your best to solve them and have fun along the way. Tongue twister tips. If you have some trouble reading tongue twisters out loud, it's okay. They are supposed to be tough to read. That's what makes them so silly. When you read a tongue twister for the first time, read it out loud very slowly. Do this until you are comfortable. Then try saying it out loud faster. Can you do it? Keep on practicing. Chapter 2. Laughable Limericks. Hickory-dickory-dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, the mouse ran down, hickory-dickory-dock. There was an old man of Darjeeling who boarded a bus bound for Ealing. It said on the door, "Don't spit on the floor," so he stood up and spat on the ceiling. Darjeeling is a city in India. Ealing is a neighborhood in London, England. There was a young lady named Bright, whose speed was much faster than light. She set off one day in a relative way and returned on the previous night. There once was a... Many limericks use the names of places to start off the poem. Then, the best limericks end with a really funny or surprising punchline. Here's a really fun example that does both of these things. There once was a farmer from Leeds who swallowed a packet of seeds. It soon came to pass he was covered in grass, but has all the tomatoes he needs. Leeds is a city in England. Do you understand that joke? Did the surprise ending make you laugh? A tutor who tooted the flute tried to teach 2 young tutors to toot. Said the two to the tutor, "Is it harder to toot or to tutor 2 tutors to toot?" There was an old man who said, "Well, will nobody answer this bell? I have pulled day and night till my hair has grown white, but nobody answers this bell." There was a young lady whose bonnet came untied when the birds sat upon it, but she said, "I don't care, all the birds in the air are welcome to sit on my bonnet." Funny fact. Limericks have been around for more than 300 years. This is a made-up place name. It's hard to find a rhyme for tiger. There was a young lady from Eiger who smiled as she rode on a tiger. They returned from the ride with the lady inside and the smile on the face of the tiger. There was an old man with a beard who said, "It is just as I feared. 2 owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren have all built their nests in my beard." There was a young lady whose eyes were unique as to color and size. When she opened them wide, people all turned aside and started away in surprise. There was an old man in a boat who said, "I'm afloat, I'm afloat." When they said, "No, you ain't," he was ready to faint. That unhappy old man in a boat. There was a young lady whose chin resembled the point of a pin, so she had it made sharp and purchased a harp and played several tunes with her chin. Did you know? Many famous writers have written limericks. They are a very popular type of poem. Edward Lear wrote more than 100 limericks in a book of nonsense. This book was written way back in 1846. It helped to make limericks popular. Edward Lear was called the father of limericks. Lewis Carroll wrote Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. He was also known for writing limericks. There was an old man with a nose who said, "If you choose to suppose that my nose is too long, you are certainly wrong." That remarkable man with a nose. There was an old man of the coast who placidly sat on a post, but when it was cold, he relinquished his hold and called for some hot buttered toast. A flea and a fly in a flue were imprisoned, so what could they do? "Let us flee," said the fly. "Let us fly," said the flea. So they flew through a flaw in the flue. Funny fact: limerick is not just the name of a type of poem. Did you know that Limerick is also the name of one of the biggest cities in Ireland? Chapter 3. Terrific Tongue Twisters. Try saying these tricky phrases 3 times fast. A bit of better butter makes a bitter batter better. Which wristwatches are Swiss wristwatches? Red leather, yellow leather. Unique New York. Synonym for cinnamon. 3 free throws. Fish sauce shop. Selfish shellfish. Beef broth. A nice dish of fresh fish. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Funny fact: the tongue twister that starts, "How much wood would a woodchuck chuck?" first appeared in a song from a Broadway musical in the early 1900s. Now, can you say these tongue twisters 3 times fast? Many minty myths. Greek grapes. Shrink, shrimpy sheep. Walter's walrus walked on water. Steve stole snow stoves. Black bug's blood, blue bug's blood. Which wicked witch wished which wicked wish? Funny fact: the famous tongue twister that begins, "She sells seashells," is thought to be written for a famous fossil hunter named Mary Anning. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are surely seashells. So if she sells shells on the seashore, I'm sure she sells seashore shells. Chapter 4. Riddle me this. What goes all over the country but doesn't move? Roads. What goes up and never comes down? Your age. What starts with P and ends with E and has 1,000,000 letters in it? Post office. What has 5 eyes but can't see? The Mississippi River. Funny fact: the oldest written riddle is from around 4,000 years ago. It was found in the area that is now the country of Iraq. What has a mouth but never talks, and a bed but never sleeps? A river. A mother, a father, and a son were standing under an umbrella. Which one got wet? None of them. It wasn't raining. What gets wetter the more it dries? A towel. What goes up and down at the same time? Stairs. What goes up the chimney down, but not down the chimney up? An umbrella. What disappears when you say its name? Silence. How many loaves of bread can you fit in an empty bag? Just one. After that, it's not empty. Why can't you starve in a desert? Because of all the sand which is there. What kind of bow can't be tied? A rainbow. What happens when you throw a green rock into the Red Sea? It gets wet. What kind of animal can go into a bear's cave and come out alive? A bear. Which side of a tiger has the most fur? The outside. What 10-letter word starts with gas? Automobile. A man and a horse rode into town. The man stayed 2 days, then rode out on Tuesday. What was the horse's name? Tuesday. What's the best way to make pants last? Just make the shirt and jacket first. What can you add to a bucket of water to make it lighter? A hole. What invention allows you to see through walls? Windows. The Sphinx's Riddle. The Sphinx's Riddle is one of the most famous riddles of all time. Can you solve it? What goes on 4 legs in the morning, on 2 legs at noon, and on 3 legs in the evening? Want to know the answer? A human. As babies, humans crawl on hands and knees, 4 legs. Then, we walk on 2 legs in midlife, noon. Then, we use a walking stick or cane, 3 legs, when we get old. Chapter 5. Hilarious Hinky Pinky. A hink pink is a pair of 1-syllable words that rhyme like fat cat or hot pot. A kind of paste that holds a sneaker together. Shoe glue. A large piece of fruit. Big fig. A rodent's home. Mouse house. An icy hammer. Cool tool. A pretend reptile with no legs. Fake snake. A fenced-in area for chickens. Hen pen. A hinky pinky is a pair of 2-syllable words that rhyme like lizard wizard. Something to keep a baby cat's paw warm. Kitten mitten. A superior cardigan. Better sweater. A convenient sweet treat. Handy candy. A police officer that patrols the dog park. Pooper trooper. A tummy that stinks. Smelly belly. An inexperienced sweet biscuit. Rookie cookie. A wet canine. Soggy doggy.